A major crisis could serve as a huge setback to the Congress ahead of Punjab polls. Sources have told India Today that 5 MPs are planning to defy the party's senior leadership. Rahul is in Punjab today to campaign with 117 candidates in tow. Those absent from the Congress campaign are 5 MPs, Manish Tewari, Ravneet Singh Bittu, Jasveer Singh Dimpa, Mohammad Sadiq and Parneet Kaur. However, playing down the reports of the boycott, Congress General Secretary KC Venugopal said they were just baseless rumours and were not true. Congress leaders say they are confident of fighting and winning the Punjab polls united. Listen in.
कोई नाराजगी वाली बात नहीं, कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए सभी ने काम करना है और सभी रल के इलेक्शन लड़ेंगे, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। हम जीतेंगे और फिर दोबारा सरकार हमारी कांग्रेस पार्टी की बनेगी।
ये अच्छी बात है कि राहुल गांधी जी ने सभी अपने कैंडिडेट्स को साथ लिया है और एक मैसेज देने की कोशिश की है और पवित्र स्थान दरबार साहब की धरती से हम जाएंगे, दुर्गाना मंदिर, बाल्मीक मंदिर, जलियांवाला बाग, तो एक यूनिटी का मैसेज है कि हम सारे एक हैं। सबसे पहला मैसेज तो ये चाहिए कि सारी कांग्रेस की लीडरशिप राहुल जी के नीचे और सोनिया जी के नीचे, दे आर वन, वी विल फाइट एज वन। If we all fight as one, only then do we survive. So next जो इलेक्शन का आगाज है वो हमें बताएंगे, हमारे से डिस्कस करेंगे क्या स्ट्रेटजीज हैं, क्योंकि इलेक्शन जो है पंजाब आज ये मानता है कि क्या सिस्टमेटिक चेंज करने में कौन सी पार्टी सक्षम है, तो वो सारा अपना मैनिफेस्टो में आने वाला है। वो आते दिनों में हम अपना आने वाला विजन भी दिखाएंगे और बताएंगे।
पूछ लगी थी आपसे, आप मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी के हेड भी हैं, क्या कुछ मेजर 2 पॉइंट्स रहेंगे, क्योंकि अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड इन्फ्लेशन एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा रहा है, लेकिन अगर आपको मैं बोलूंगी कुछ की पॉइंट्स, स्पेशली लिस्ट 3 मेन पॉइंट्स, क्या रहेंगे सर वो?
अब सारा कुछ तो मैं आपको अब बता नहीं सकता, मगर ये जो लोगों की आकांक्षाएं हैं पंजाब में कि सिस्टमैटिक चेंज होना चाहिए, तो वो हम लेकर आएंगे और आप देखेंगे कि जो लोगों के सेंटिमेंट हैं पंजाब के, वो उनकी सेंटिमेंट के मुताबिक ही ये मैनिफेस्टो होगा।
Ahead of the crucial Punjab polls, Rahul is facing a loss of face. Here are the top 5 problems he's faced with. 5 MPs boycotting a Rahul meet in Punjab. That's a big statement against his leadership, compounding the infighting in Punjab Congress. It shows Congress in disarray ahead of polls. Embarrassment for Rahul as he begins his campaign. Kamaljeet Sandhu joining us live on this story. Kamaljeet, Congress clearly trying to present a united front, saying that all is under control, but clearly odds are stacked against them, with several MPs choosing not to show.
Well, there's an explanation being given by the Congress saying this was a show of strength by the MLAs and the candidates. It was never about the Member of Parliament. But that's just one word. We are in Jalandhar, where action is expected to shift, especially in the wake of his Amritsar trip. That is over now. The part 2 now begins, and some of the MPs are present inside. We'll show you the venue and the cutouts of Rahul Gandhi. So we do expect he will be addressing a virtual rally where he will reach out to the Congress workers in all the 117 constituencies. Remember, as far as 8 of them, the names have not been announced for 8 of the seats. But clearly, as far as Congress is concerned, this is a time to do SWOT analysis. So there are several strengths, but there are weaknesses, including the one which we've seen in fighting. Then there are all those others like Manish Tewari, Ravneet, Bittu, who've been raising questions about the party. And we've seen that the biggest critic of all has been Navjot Singh Sidhu. So all that has been a part of a chapter of Punjab Congress. This at a time where this is a multi-corner contest. So they will be looking at certain things where all the odds are stacked against them. And this is where the unity has to be shown. Whether it's between Channi and Navjot Singh Sidhu, or whether it is, for that matter, between Sunil Jhakkar and the others, this is also a time where the Member of Parliament could have on their own part showed up. they've not done. But an explanation has been coming in that this has always been about the assembly polls and not about the member of parliament. So that should not be taken into consideration. But that can't be looked away either. So all this is a matter of factor. But clearly, Rahul Gandhi's presence is expected to enthuse Congress workers. But there are troubles for them. Whether he will be able to revive Congress, whether he will be able to make a mark, especially in the wake of exit of Captain Amritsar Singh, and the way ED raids have been conducted against Charanjit Singh Channi's skin. So all these factors are adding up against Congress party, and at that point of time where Rahul Gandhi was expected to do a mega rally in Moga on the 3rd of January, just 2 days before Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but he chose to fly abroad. But again, there was an explanation which came up then, and today is a great chance where he will connect virtually. Whether there is going to be a press conference, we've been told no, that's not the case, but clearly expected to enthuse Congress workers and give them shot in the arm, a boost which Congress really requires in Punjab.
All right, stay with us. We've also got Rahul Shrivatava on this story. And Rahul, we've been discussing how this is really getting murkier for the Congress, really not looking good. The semantics of it are clearly stacked up against them. And while, as we just heard from Kamalji, there are explanations on explanations that are being, fired, it's really not doing the kind of damage control that one would, that they probably want to, of course, do at this point of time.
You see, definitely the Congress is reeling as far as a state like Punjab, where it has a chance of coming back to power, primarily because it still remains one of the most dominant forces. And the absence of 6 of the members of parliament of the Congress party at a Rahul Gandhi function, which is supposed to be a show of unity and strength in Punjab ahead of polling, 5 MPs boycotting and saying that they somehow do not agree with the leadership, primarily because they are being sidelined as far as major decisions in their own constituency is concerned, as far as ticket distribution in their constituency is concerned. And this includes the people who are missing include Manish, Tewari, who has been a central minister for the Congress party, Parneet, Kaur, Ravneet, Bittu, Mohammad Sadiq, Jasveer, Gill, who had in fact yesterday tweeted that what does somebody do, a leader do, if he is ignored in his own party. Now, this certainly is bad news for the Congress party ahead of the elections, and that's what we are told by sources in the Congress, that there is an attempt to placate these leaders. Top leaders are speaking to them to ensure that in the next leg, at least all these leaders should join in and present a show of unity for the Congress.
Okay. What's the next step then, Rahul? I mean, you're talking about, these leaders joining in, presenting some unity. In terms of really being against time, polls around the corner, a lot of pressure right now to deliver. What do you feel is the next step? What else can be done on behalf of the Congress party to really, have a fighting chance of presenting a credible run for these polls?
You see, the Congress, the problem for the Congress is that the Congress is trying to find short-term fixes instead of a long-term fix for the crisis that it's facing. The crisis is at the top. The top has been without a proper president, a full-time president for the last over 2 years. No political party which has a pan-India presence and legacy of the Congress party can survive like this, where the high command will definitely keep getting weaker if the high command issue is not decided. You've got 23 top leaders of the party. They may be the old guard, but there are some like Manish Tewari, who's part of this current exercise in Punjab also, who are unhappy with the way party is being run and who's running it. That issue has not been settled till now. It is festering. Now, had it been that if the party thinks that it can do without these leaders, they can be removed from the party. They can be expelled and the Congress can go ahead. But even that is not being tackled. I think not dealing with immediate crisis and postponing it, trying to maintain status quo and paper over all these crises is eventually what is proving detrimental for the Congress interests.
All right, stay with us. We've got Kamalji, Rahul both with us. Let's also listen in to a conversation with Punjab Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu. He spoke exclusively to my colleague Supriya Bharadwaj on the campaign trail, saying and reinforcing that the party is united.
पंजाब कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू हमारे साथ है। सर, वन क्विक क्वेश्चन, विक्रमजीत सिंह मजीठा को आपके खिलाफ जो है फील्ड किया है श्रीमती अकाली दल ने, कैसे देखते हैं आप?
ही इज मोस्ट वेलकम, इट इज हिज डेमोक्रेटिक राइट, जब मर्जी आए।
सर, लेकिन कहा जा रहा है कि अब तो बैटल ऑफ द क्लैश ऑफ द टाइटंस हो गया।
नथिंग एट ऑल, अगर ये ऐसा कोई बैटल हो तो मजीठा छोड़ के अकेला यहाँ लड़े।
सर, आज
फिर 2 सीट क्यों?
कहा जा रहा है कि आज आप लोगों ने शो ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ के साथ साथ शो ऑफ यूनिटी,
हाँ,
यूनिटी जो है आप लोगों ने यहाँ पे दिखाया।
तो पहले से यूनाइटेड है, आपको दिख रहा है आज? हम तो पहले से यूनाइटेड है।
आप नाराज थे थोड़े से,
आपको लग रहा है?
Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi also spoke exclusively to India today about Congress MP Rahul Gandhi's day-long Punjab visit and the party's Sikh outreach.
हम हरमंदिर साहब पहुंचे हैं, राहुल जी और यहाँ खुद आए हैं और हमें बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है कि हमारा लीडर गुरु के दर्शन करने आया है।
आपके जो क्रिटिक्स है वो कहना है कि ये शो ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ है जिसमें आप दिखा रहे हैं कि हम सब साथ साथ हैं।
ऐसा है कि साथ होने से साथ दिखते भी हैं, अच्छी बात है, कोई बुरी बात नहीं।
बार बार कह रहे हैं कि आपका और सिद्धू जी का झगड़ा है, आप लोग तब सामने आए हो।
नहीं, अब उधर से ही उतरना है, एक रास्ते से ही उतरेंगे।
अच्छा सर, मैसेज क्या देना चाहिए कि सारे कैंडिडेट्स एक साथ हैं, 117 कैंडिडेट्स हैं यहाँ।
मैसेज ये है कि पंजाब दी चढ़दी कला, पंजाब दी चढ़दी कला,
राहुल गांधी,
कांग्रेस मांगे सर्वत का भला।
The revolt against Rahul Gandhi in Punjab only adds to the Congress's problems, which have been compounding. The party has been hit by high-profile exits, the latest one being RPN Singh, who quit Congress and joined BJP a day after he was named the star campaigner for the party in UP. Then you have senior Congress leaders attacking each other publicly. We saw how Jairam Ramesh targeted Ghulam Nabi Azad after he was conferred the Padma Bhushan. G23, the group of 23 party veterans, have openly been demanding an overhaul in Congress leadership and functioning. There is no clarity on future party leadership. Right now, Sonia Gandhi is interim Congress president, but who will take over from her? Will it be Rahul or Priyanka or a non-Gandhi? That's the big question. Okay. Kamaljeet, you're clearly on ground. You're watching the action play out. Tell us really what the mood is like with Congress stepping up on its campaigning and trying to really do a massive outreach in Punjab. Are they managing to pull things together? We heard from both Charanjit Singh Channi, we've heard from Sidhu as well. Everyone seems to be trying to suggest that things are on track. What's the mood among the voters on ground?
Well, there are multiple challenges for the Congress party. One, they've started quite late. Parties like the Akali Dal, the Aam Aadmi Party started way 6-7 months back. And this is where Congress had been slow. One, the exit of Captain Amritsar Singh. Then we saw that there was a power tussle between Charanjit Singh Channi as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu, which is an ongoing issue. On the face of it, even today, they're talking about all is well between them. But obviously not. There is a tussle as far as the Chief Minister post is concerned. Both of them have publicly stated that the High Command should take a call on the CM face, and it seems that even when they were even deciding about it, there have been ED raids. So yes, the Congress seems to be under attack from different political parties, and this is where the real concern is. They're already facing anti-incumbency. There seems to be Aam Aadmi Party, which is gaining popularity, and then there are these 3 regions of Malwa, Majha, Doaba. The real fight is obviously in the Malwa region, which has 69 seats. Last time around, it was 20 seats which went to Aam Aadmi Party, but the majority of them came to the Congress Party. But this time it seems the Aam Aadmi Party has been working on its weaknesses. Meanwhile, Congress has been fraught with a lot of problems, including the infighting, including the issues about candidates. Now, one part has been that the Congress announced its tickets late, thinking that some of them, or at least the faces, would walk away either to the Saffron Party or its alliance parties. So that is why most of the faces have been retained. Only a few of them have walked away. Now they have to work on their strengths, and it does seem that they're running short on time. The fact that Rahul Gandhi, who was expected to be here on the 3rd in Moga, decided to go abroad is something which many people have taken notice of. And now that he comes in at a time where a virtual rally is an in thing, perhaps a message to enthuse the workers. But will it really change the destiny as far as Congress party is concerned? That now needs to be seen. But clearly, a strategic timing as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, symbolic show of strength, going to Golden Temple, going to the Valmiki Temple, going to Durgyana Temple. So he has ensured that the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Dalits, they are all taken care of. A massive show of strength. Now, whether the strength will convert into votes, that has to be seen. And mostly, what he says in the virtual rally, a message to all, especially in the state, is also something to be watched out for.
Kamalji, thanks for joining us with that, and you know, really important takeaways coming in with regards to the timing and really the challenges that Congress is facing with its campaign. Now, arch rivals Sidhu and Bikram Singh Majitha are all set to contest each other in battlefield Amritsar East, as Akalis have fielded their strongest soldier to beat Sidhu in his bastion. Punjab is now all set to witness a high voltage clash of netas.
The stage is set for the biggest war of Sardars. The mother of all political battles is taking shape in Amritsar East. Bikram Singh Majitha is all set to take on arch rival Navjot Singh Sidhu.
कांग्रेस पार्टी चन्नी सरकार ने खास करके नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू जिन्हें बिक्रम सिंह मजीठिया के खिलाफ झूठा केस किया, एक गुरसिख परिवार ते एक ड्रग्स का झूठा इल्जाम लाया। सारे वर्कर इतने बैठे हैं ते बिक्रम सिंह मजीठिया नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू की जमानत जब्त कराऊगा।
Sidhu has a long-running feud with Majitha from his days in the BJP. The cricketer turned politician has consistently targeted the Akali Dal leader over alleged links to drug mafia.
Drugs ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਾਈਨਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਿਖਿਆ, ਇਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਲਿਖਿਆ, ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ, ਤੇਲੰਗਾਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 50 ਕਰੋੜ ਰੁਪਏ ਕਮਾਉਂਦਾ ਮੈਡਮ, ਤੇ ਅਕਾਲੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ 10 ਸਾਲ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ 40 ਕਰੋੜ ਰੁਪਏ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ। ਇਹ ਕਰਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ।
ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਦਾ C is for Congress, C is for Channi and C is for corruption. 3 C's ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਰਾਜਨੀਤੀ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ।
Booked under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act last month, following pressure from Sidhu, Majitha has been trying to secure an anticipatory bail from the court.
ਲੋਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹੈ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ, ਵਰਕ ਕਰਨਾ, ਵੋਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਲੋਕ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਹਜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੇਲ ਤਾਂ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਜੇਲ੍ਹ 'ਚੋਂ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਲੜਨ ਦੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜੇਲ੍ਹ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਵੀ ਲੜ ਲੈਣਗੇ।
The fight, however, might not be as easy as Sidhu pictures. Majitha, for one, is a 3-time MLA. Strategically speaking, the high-profile clash between Majitha and Sidhu brings Akalis back in the picture in the Majha region, where 22 out of the 25 seats were swept by Captain in 2017. On the other hand, Amritsar East is known as the Sidhu couple's bastion. Sidhu polled 60,477 votes in 2017, which was over 60% of the total votes. Akali BJP combines Rakesh Kumar Hani was able to get only 17,668 votes, which added to 17.7% of total votes, while Aam Aadmi Party just got 14.8%. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party, a big contender in the Punjab race, has alleged a deal between CM Channi and the Akali Dal. Aam Aadmi Party MP Raghav Chadha in a tweet said that Akalis pitted Majitha against Sidhu at Channi's behest. The Aam Aadmi Party leader claimed Majithia was returning the favour as Channi did not arrest him initially. The big threat for Sidhu is dissidence. The factional feud in Congress can punch holes in the party's vote bank. The former cricketer will be aware the match is far from over. Bureau Report, India Today.